Hi Church, today we're focusing on 2 Chronicles in the Old Testament, a book that was written in the 5th century. However, we're not 100% sure who the author of this book was. Some scholars seem to think that Ezra might be a possible candidate. Chronicles translates to a word meaning the affairs of the days, so it literally is a book about the affairs of the days in the 5th century. And we know that it begins with King Solomon and his arrival to the throne, and it ends with the kingdom of Judah being exiled in Babylonia in 586 BC. Now, the author of this book really seems to focus on telling the story of the descendants of David who reigned over Judah. And I think that is a really important thing to see, is that the author's desire for us reading this book, that was his key thing that he wanted. One of the key things that he wanted to get across is telling the story of David's descendants. And we know that another key focus was the Jews who had that desire to rebuild the temple and to resettle in the Holy Land. And actually you can see that in 6 of the 9 chapters that are devoted to King Solomon, you can see that they're actually devoted and focused on the rebuilding of the temple and the temple construction. And the temple construction was something that was placed on Solomon's shoulders since his birth, and it was something that was highly important to him because of that responsibility that was given to him as soon as he was born. And one of the key things that I really like in 2 Chronicles is when God asked Solomon, you can have anything, what do you want? And Solomon said, I want your wisdom. And God was so pleased with this that he not only gave him his wisdom, but he gave him other riches and blessings that Solomon didn't ask for. And the main reason that I think that happened personally is I think that God was pleased with Solomon asking that of him. And I think it's because it shows that Solomon recognised the power of God and his holiness, and it recognised God's ability to give infinite and superior wisdom to the wisdom that humans can give. And it reminds me of verses in Isaiah 55 where it says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts." And I think that's something that Solomon captures beautifully in 2 Chronicles.